Welcome to Move with Miranda. My name is Miranda. I'm a physiotherapist and Pilates instructor in Melbourne. Today we are focusing on the breath and incorporating gentle moves, gentle stretches with our breath. We will be staying close to the earth today. If you have a small scarf, you might like to grab that now, as this can help to facilitate some of the breath work that we will be working on together. Begin by closing down through the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And just take a few moments here to note where your breath is. There's no need to change the quality of the breath or the depth of the breath. Become curious. And observe your body, observe your breath. Note the rhythm. You're breathing slowly, quickly. Does it change from breath to breath? Note if you're breathing in or out through your nose or your mouth. Okay, and there's no need to change this. Simply observe as you are. And shift your focus to your body. Where do you notice the movement? Maybe your belly, your chest, your back, shoulders, your neck, your head. Happens through the arms and the legs as you breathe naturally. Take 2 more breaths together here. When you're ready, open your eyes. So today our focus will be on lateral breathing. Breath down, low into the lungs, and expanding through the rib cage, up and out, and then relaxing back down. You might like to grab your scarf and place this around your back. Cross it over at the front. This can be a really lovely way to provide feedback on what's moving. So take a moment to set yourself up, and we're focusing on taking the breath in and taking it right down into the bottom of the lungs. And our aim is to try and create a little bit of pressure outwards on the scarf. So holding the scarf just gently, and as we breathe in, feeling that lateral movement, that sideways movement of the ribs pressing into the scarf, and with the breath out, coming back in. You might like to close your eyes. We'll spend a moment here. Just again engaging with the breath. And don't be worried if this feels quite unusual. It is a bit of an unusual technique. But it's so important to enable us to get deep breaths. Both the breath in and the breath out. Full breath in, out to the side of the ribs, and full breath out. Expelling the air, emptying the lungs. Breath in. Breath out. Spend 1 more minute here. It's up to you how deep your breath goes And if you start to feel dizzy, absolutely take a breath, take a break. There's no need to push through that. You might find you can only do 1 or 2 breaths and then you need a rest. So keep feeling into that side of the body. Continue with your breath as I'm speaking with you. But feel the ribs open and lift. And on your exhale, they close down and lower. Feel that expansion of the lungs, the ribs moving to accommodate, and the breath out through the mouth as they lower. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Feeling outward motion. When you're ready, open the eyes and you can pop yourself to the side. It's a really lovely technique just to check in with that lateral breath. And that's also the breath work we use in Pilates. So with all of our movements, when we're working on our breath, that's how we want to be working. Then we're using the muscle of the diaphragm to help us to get the breath. And that then links in with our deeper abdominals, our core, and our pelvic floor. Really important to get that breath work happening. We're going to try and incorporate this same lateral expansion through the body with some stretching. So let's bring the hands out, palms face away from you. Lengthen through the spine, sit bones on the floor or on a cushion or a yoga block, however you're most comfortable. Shrug the shoulders up and allow them to slide down the back. Take a moment here. As we take our next breath, we're going to rise the arms up above the shoulders. As we breathe out, turn palms face away and breath out back down to the floor. Turn palms up, breath in. And breath out. And we're still focusing on that lateral breath. It's a little bit more challenging when we start to add body movements in. And to increase this connection of breath and body, I only want you to move your arms upwards with the breath in as far as you can, and outwards with the breath down. So we're connecting and coordinating. So you may find if you have a slightly shorter breath that you might only come to shoulder height, that's okay. Oh, so you fly buzzing around. Breath in, 4 more. You might like to look up. You might like to close the eyes. Do what feels right for you. Soften the shoulders as you come down. Energize through the fingertips. Roll the shoulders, relax the breath. Just place the hands on the shoulders, rolling up, little kiss of the wrists behind the head and coming out. Lift up, roll, little kiss and down. So in order for us to have great lung function and for us to get this lateral breath, it's really important that we're relaxed and we're mobile through our shoulders and our upper spine. And change direction. Breath in, little kiss behind the head, breath out. breath in. Don't worry too much about the lateral breath here. Use this as a little bit of a time to relax, switch off a little. One more breath in. Just a gentle breath. And relax. Beautiful. Let's come down onto our backs. And we're going to continue to focus our breath in this position. Again, you might like to use your scarf, or if you don't have a scarf, a piece of material. Wrap it across the ribs again, the lower part of the ribs. Gentle pressure, just gentle. Feet are a little bit wider than hip width apart. Then you might like to drop the knees in towards each other in a nice rested position, or if you prefer, to drop the knees away and get a gentle stretch through the inner thigh. So pick what works for you, what's more comfortable for you. Apply that gentle pressure through the scarf. You may like to close the eyes and explore the lateral breath again in this position. So you have a little bit more feedback here. So you can use the floor and note the pressure of the ribs and the back of the body on the floor. Thinking again about the ribs coming out and up. You may like to close the eyes and really tune into the breath. One more breath here. Release the scarf to the side. Reach the arms along the side of the body, palms face up. Legs are in whatever position is comfortable for you. The knees rested against each other or out to the side. You might like to change the position. So a little shrug of the shoulders up towards the ears. And then allow them to soften, feel the shoulder blades lengthen, the shoulder lengthen, the neck lengthen along the back of the body. From here, reach the arms overhead, connect with the breath. Palms face the roof and breath out. Focusing here on coordinating the breath, that lateral movement with the arm movement. It's a little trickier here. You may find that you can't quite get the arms all the way over or all the way down. You may just stay in this midway position. That's okay. And gradually increase that as your breath awareness and your connection increases. Just explore with this. Just be curious with the breath. Be curious with the connection of the breath to the body. Still feeling that lateral movement of the breath. Three more here. Palms up to lift up, and palms face down and away as we press down. Imagine your arms are pressing through water. So there's a little bit of resistance through the hands. Fingers are energized. last one, breath in. If your eyes are closed on your last breath out, gently open the eyes. Hugging the knees towards the chest. And gentle little rock side to side. Feel a nice little release through the low back. And some little circles. Imagine you're drawing little circles on the roof with your knees. And then gently the other direction. And place your feet back on the floor. Roll yourself over onto hands and knees. It's a little more tricky again to feel that lateral breath work here. And we can't really use the scarf in this 4-point position. So we're working on that connection with the body and feeling that breath work come out and up, and then feel it come back down. And the more you practice this, the easier it will get. So hands are under the shoulders, fingers are spread out, we're energized through the fingers. Knees are underneath the hips. Backs of the feet are pressing into the floor. We're connected to the earth here. We're strong in this position. Feel the breath again. Breathing out into the side of the ribs. And exhale through the mouth. Ribs come closer together. Check that the back of the neck is pressed towards the ceiling. Feet and hands are pressed to the earth. Length from our tailbone to the crown of our head. Nice and strong in this position. There are a lot of elements here, especially when we start to focus on the breath. Breath in through the nose, feel that expansion of the ribs. Breath out through the mouth. Going to add some movement here. We're reaching out one arm, breath in, and breath out, bringing hand back towards the hip. Breath in, reach out. The focus is on that lateral movement, but we also need to be working through our supporting arm, that shoulder. Our abdominals are working here to keep us steady. Back of the neck pressed to the roof. Breath in, reach. Breath out, bring it back. Let's do 3 more on this side. This should feel more challenging than the first 2 positions. So this is as hard as it's going to get today. Breath in. Last one, breath out. Place the hand on the floor again. Re-energize through the hands, through the feet. Lengthen sit bones to crown of head, back of neck presses to the roof. Reach out, breath in. Breath out, draw towards the hip. Coordinate the breath with the movement. The most important part is trying to get that lateral movement of the ribs. Really tricky in this position. 4 more here. Continue to press through your supporting hand, press through the feet. Lengthen the sit bones to crown of the head. Back of the neck presses up. 2 more, breath in. Place the hands on the floor again. Bring the toes towards each other and take your knees out as wide as your mat if you can. Sink the hips back towards the heels and coming into an extended child's pose. You may like to place your forehead on the floor or bring the hands underneath. If you're a little too uncomfortable back in this position, you might like to pop a cushion underneath your hips between your bottom and your legs so that you're not sitting back quite as far. And the focus here is just to relax, let go, sinking towards the earth. Three more breaths in this position. And coming back up to a seated position facing the front again. Back to how we started. Big breath in, reach the arms up and over the head. And softly bring them down in front. Relax the hands on the lap, the knees, wherever they sit. Congratulate yourself for showing up on your mat again today. I hope today's been really helpful to help to teach you about how we can get that deeper breath, that connection with our breath and our body. And try and incorporate this within all of your Pilates sessions. But let's close down through the eyes and take a moment together. Just note how your breath is at the moment. Again, there's no need to change the breath. Just note the quality of your breath, the depth, speed, and note where in your body you feel the movement. Does it feel different to when you first sat on your mat today? And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you again. Have a lovely rest of your day.